Hi, my name is Lisa Wright, and I am 46 years old, and I am going to talk to you guys about how the healing process works when you break your leg, and you break it pretty bad. So on March 14th, 2018, I was backpacking with my son in the Grand Canyon. We were doing a 4-day, 3-night, 4-day trip down to Havasi Falls, and on the switchbacks on our first day I slid on some rocks, and I'm trying to catch my balance, trying to twist so that I wouldn't fall on the steeper side of the ledge. I broke my foot in 5 places. It was a pretty crazy experience. It took several hours to actually get out, of the canyon, and then I was sent on a helicopter to the urgent emergency place in Flagstaff, the hospital there, which they had great doctors, and the team that got me out of the canyon were amazing too. So, but what I really want to focus on is the process of healing after you break, because one of the things that's been really helpful to me, but has actually been kind of hard to find, are people online that have dealt with this similar situation that I have, and what they went through, and just that healing process. So today I'm actually 6 weeks from the day I had surgery. During my surgery, they inserted a titanium rod above my knee down into my tibia bone. So I broke my tibia in 2 places, and then my fibula in 2 places, and then I have a break in my ankle. So they did that, and then they put some partial plates in it, which they removed on some of the other breaks, and I've got a lot of screws in there, so, which is really weird. It's like a screw you put in the wall, except it's a screw they put in your leg. Kind of hard to get used to. I have not yet looked at the original x-rays that showed my breaks. I feel like I might look at those someday, but I'm not ready to. I just want to focus on the healing process. So the first thing that happened when I had it is, of course, we had the surgery. That was kind of crazy. My husband, thank God for him, and my son drove me from Flagstaff to Springfield, Missouri. So that was a very, very long drive. I think it was about 18 hours total. And I was passed out pretty much in the back seat. Getting around at that point was very, very difficult. I felt like when I would try to stand up on with the walking chair, which is what I had to use at that point, to go to the bathroom, the weight on my leg was like the gravity was just pulling it down, and it was excruciating. I would hold my bladder until the least possible minute, knowing I had to mentally prepare myself to get up and pee, or whatever you have to do. Thank God once we made it home that I was really blessed to have a lot of friends and family that were willing to let me just sit on the recliner and prop my foot out. Per the doctor, I think that's really, really important. The first several weeks is to become immobile as much as possible. Daily, several times a day, I would wiggle my toes and flex my foot back and forth, not side to side. They did not want me to do that. So I was very regular on that. I also got like a 3-pound weight and a 6-pound medicine ball. And I already had those, but you could have somebody buy them for you. And every day, about 3 times a day, I would take them as I watched like a show or listen to a podcast, and I would just do exercises for my arms. I would just do bicep curls, 30 bicep curls, and then I would go into a shoulder press, and then I would go into front raises, and then I would hold the medicine ball and I would twist side to side, very small motions, because my biggest fear was that at first they told me I wouldn't be able to put any weight on my leg, and then I'd be down for 12 weeks. And I was so fearful that the rest of my body would start falling apart on me, because I'm middle-aged, 47 years old, and so I wanted to try to stay physically active as much as possible without jeopardizing the healing of my leg. That is my transportation system for the rest of my life. So it was very, very important that I followed doctor's rules too. So, diagnosis in the beginning from the trauma doctor in Flagstaff and Dr. Mankin here in Springfield, Missouri, was that I would not be back at work until June, 12 weeks out, and I would not be able to put pressure or weight on that leg. So, had this past Tuesday, 2 days ago, had doctor's appointment 6 weeks post-operation, and doctor was very pleased with the results and the healing. Said my leg was looking really good. There was kind of concern because I got some blisters, like internal blisters that cause deep scarring. It's not always happening, but we can talk about that. If anybody has questions that reads this, you can call me and I can let you know, because it was kind of scary at first trying to figure out what those deep big scabs growing on my leg were from. Anywho, so he was very, very pleased, and he okayed me to start putting pressure or some weight, 50% of my weight, and start walking. He also gave me a band, an exercise band, and had me put it on the ball of my foot and start flexing my foot about 3 times a day, about 20 repetitions. So I was so excited. I was like, can I go back to work now? Because at first they said 12 weeks, and he was like, if you feel comfortable, and you think you can do it. And I said, well, maybe it's like 4 to 6 hours. And he was like, yeah, we'll do that. So I was like, can I go to the gym and work out on just cardio, on machines, just the upper body, where I can just sit down and do? And he's like, sure, if you feel comfortable, but the minute you start feeling pain. And I was so excited Tuesday morning. So I was like, okay, let my work know. Was pumped coming home. My husband was excited for me. He's like, I think it'd be good for you to get back to work. And so that day I went all out. I did my new band exercises. I did my regular exercises with my medicine ball. And I got up about 3 or 4 times that day and just walked some outside on my driveway back and forth, and then some around my house, just over and over and over again. Well, sorry to say, when the doctor says to do it, maybe try doing like 5-10 minutes total that day. I probably did like 2 hours, and that night by about dinner time, 5 or 6 o'clock, I was exhausted. I was extremely grumpy, and I was really, really hurting. My leg, my ankle, and my lower leg was swelling and stiff. I didn't have very much range of motion to flex my foot or point my toes or anything. And so I had to go back and take a higher dosage of the hydrocodone that I have to help with the pain. And I also woke up several times throughout the night having to readjust myself and having to take medicine again because it hurt. It really did. So when you're healing and the doctor says, let's start putting weight on that foot, he's meaning, I believe, minimal. Like, be real with yourself. And even if you feel like you're walking around, it's not hurting that bad, be cautious and take it real easy. Just like I said, do maybe 5-10 minutes that day, and then see how you feel that night. So the next day, I slept a lot that morning. I still didn't feel, I was exhausted, and that was yesterday. Though I did get up around probably mid-morning, and I went ahead and did my exercises, and I stretched and I walked, but I didn't do nearly as much as I did on day 1. And then I kept it easy, and that night I kind of did a few more of the band exercises, and I would just walk around to go eat dinner at the table with my kids and my husband. And today I feel pretty good. I didn't have to take pain medicine last night. I haven't had any today. I have been very disciplined on not pushing myself too much on these guys. I did call the doctor also to make sure I wasn't screwing something up really, really bad. And his doctor, Rachel, or his assistant, Rachel, said that it'd be normal, and that the whole thing is that if you do feel pain and discomfort, back off. That, let your body adapt to that, and don't push yourself so hard. So, like I said, this is day, it's 6 weeks today that I had the operation on my leg. It feels so much better. The pain has gone. If you can get through the first 4 weeks, the first 2 weeks especially the pain was crazy. And then every week like that, it gets better. But listen to your doctor. Keep that foot elevated. Keep it elevated. And then don't put any pressure on it whatsoever if that's what the doctor says. And it might be boring, but use that time for reflection, to catch up on some movies that we don't normally get to see as moms or parents and working adults, and read some good books, spend some time in the Word. I've really used it. I've thought a lot about things that I've learned are, I take for granted how easy it is with 2 legs to go to the bathroom and to take a shower and to wash your hair, and unfortunately, most importantly to me, to carry a cup of coffee to my desk or wherever I'm going so I can leisurely sip on it. You cannot carry drinks very, very easy at all when you're on crutches or on a walker. So I really miss my continuous cup of lovely coffee. But I've also realized that I've been really selfish a big part of my life, and I think that's just the age thing too, that I can tell you so many friends and family and coworkers and neighbors that I know have been down and out and hurting and unable to take care of their basic things, like getting themselves a hot cup of coffee or washing the blanket that they've had on them for the past 4 6 weeks, 2 weeks, sweeping their floor, picking up their mail, having a hot meal. And I was selfish. I was so busy being a mom that worked 40 hours a week, that wanted to work out and take classes and be there for my kids and my husband, and that's all really, really good. But just to know that when people are hurting around you, just do one thing for them. Maybe once a week, maybe once the whole time, but just do one thing. Make a meal for them. Go sweep their floor. Go take their dog for a walk. Change their cat litter box. Those basic grocery shopping for them. There's so many different things that I've learned in this time that maybe I don't need to conquer the world or save the world or have so much pride in doing something big that people can look at me and recognize, but maybe I have enough to do right around this circle around me. Maybe there's enough people all around my circle through home and work and stuff like that that need me, that need something, and that is the biggest thing I've taken away from the past 6 weeks, is not to be so selfish and to really, really see the needs of those people around me. So, anywho, broken legs, 6 weeks from surgery, post-surgery, healing good. It is difficult. It is, sometimes you can get down, but keep your spirits up. Stay strong. Note it. There's going to be a little bit of pain. Listen to your doctor. When you start walking, limit yourself the first day or two to really see how much you can take so you don't hurt so bad that at nighttime. And good luck to you. Remember, this is not permanent. This is a very temporary moment in our lives. Some people are dealing with permanent disabilities, permanent, that they will never get up on their legs and stuff again. And if you're in my situation, this is temporary. And if you put your mind to it, and it's not easy, and you're going to have your weak days, we're going to get up and we're going to be strong. And then that someday, probably a year or so, starting in a year, minus 6 weeks, we can become stronger than we ever were before. So, peace with you. Take care, and God bless. Bye.